Alright, welcome back, guys. We got manga chapters this week, which is awesome. So I went ahead and read those chapters. I figured I'd go ahead and do my review of them up. I thought it was a pretty good week, especially for One Piece. Not just because I'm a huge One Piece fan, but because I thought it had the most interesting chapter with the Yeti Cool Brothers. But starting with Naruto, this was Naruto 585, So I Can Be Myself. We finally get back to the fight. Well, I shouldn't say finally. It's not like the flashback was really long or anything, but we get back to the fight with Kabuto, Itachi, and Sasuke. They still need to buy some time to power up Izanami. Meanwhile, Kabuto, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, I don't watch anime really, even for mangas I like. I'm more of a fan of reading the actual manga, so I'm probably going to pronounce a lot of names wrong here, but Kabuto brings out a clone of Sakan from the Sound 4. He's not detached from Kabuto, he's just part of his body. He's like in his stomach, like watery, snake-like. So Sakan comes out and turns into Jiraiya from the Sound 4, the big strong guy. He slams his hands on the ground using Earth Jutsu to cave in the ground and split Amaterasu. Then he turns into Kidomaru to spit out a giant spider web. They use Amaterasu on it. Then Kabuto gets behind them and he uses Kimaru, the guy with the bones, and he stabs the ground and all the bone spikes start to pop up. So Itachi and Sasuke are trapped. They both use Susanoo to destroy the web and the bones. Kimaru uses a bone flute to trap them in a genjutsu. And while they're stunned, he brings out Kabuto. The final face is Orochimaru, the big grotesque snake-like version. Orochimaru comes out and he's sending the head all the way to attack Sasuke. Itachi and Sasuke use Tsukuyomi to escape the genjutsu, which was actually a pretty smart idea. They escape the genjutsu and they trap the Orochimaru head in Susanoo. And Itachi says, "It's over, I'm about to use Izanami," and then Kabuto climbs out of the Orochimaru snake head and cuts Itachi in half. Then, crying, he says he just wanted to be himself and he won't let anyone stop him. I have mixed feelings on this. The first thing is I'm glad Kabuto is still alive, at least for one more chapter. I really thought this might be it, and he was done for here. However, I don't think he's got much time left. He's going to keep fighting, but he's eventually going to lose to Itachi and Sasuke, one way or the other, which really sucks because I feel like every single villain in this war has been nothing. The good guys, Naruto's side, has taken no casualties. It's all the villains. All the villains are the ones getting destroyed out here, and now Kabuto, one of the lead villains, is just going to die like that. Kind of disappointing. I think the fights are okay. They could be a lot better, but for what they are, they're fine. I do like Kabuto's transformation. I wish we could see more of it, but I just got this bad feeling that this is it, and Kabuto has maybe 2 more chapters in him. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Naruto this week. I thought the chapter itself was pretty good. We got to see the Sound 4 again, which was cool. Especially since they hyped up all these dead guys being brought back, like Kimaru, and we didn't get to see him do anything. He was teamed with the old lady who used the puppets, Chiyo, I believe her name was, and they were fighting the good guys, and we really didn't see crap with that. So that was very disappointing. So I'm glad we got to see some more of them here. But on to Bleach, chapter 491, Toten Engel. I believe that's German, but it's Death Angel. This chapter starts off with Orihime. She can't sense any spirit particles or Rietsu. We see a flashback of Urahara explaining to Ichigo Ishida's power, how when Quincy removes the wrist bracelet, they start absorbing a ton of power. However, the drawback is they lose their Quincy powers forever. So Ichigo knows that this captain he's fighting used that and is wondering if it's the same. The captain attacks Ichigo And while their blades are crossed, he actually says something like, "Let me see into your heart," and explains to him that the power is completely different. So I don't know if he can do something special with that, but he says that it's a different power than the one Ishida used. That's an old power that nobody uses anymore, at least the Quincy's. It died 200 years ago. It was weak. It was useless. Apparently Ishida Salgan denied the other Quincy's evolution and studies. He didn't want them to do that. He wanted to stick with the old power where if you used it, you would lose your powers. And some of the Quincy's, I guess, rebelled against him and wanted to evolve and study and get stronger. So probably go back into the history of the Quincy's more in the future. But that's all he says here. He says this power is much stronger. Ichigo insults his costume and hits a Getsuga Tenshou on him. Even though when the smoke clears, the blade is at the captain's neck, it did nothing to him, which was pretty awesome. He says that he has no weak point, and his shape is that of a holy executioner. I guess the Quincy's are allowed to execute Shinigami. I'm not really sure about this here. But he holds out his sword, and then you see this big, like, ball of power start to grow on it. We see Orihimi's shield start to dissolve. Trees, rocks, the sand of Huecamundo starts to absorb into this sword. Because unlike Shinigami, who emit spirit particles, the Quincy's absorb them. So he's absorbing a ton of power, and he's about to attack Ichigo with it when this giant fist hits him and breaks the sword, or the ball of power. And then we see that it's Aeon. The three girls the captain beat up earlier, if you remember when they were attacking Karakura Town with Aizen, they had this giant beast monster with them. And it wasn't like it was pretty strong, but they eventually, the Soul Society, beat it. But Aeon is back here, and he hits the captain, and the captain just looks at it and says, "What is this beast?" And then we see the three girls saying, "Yeah, go kill him, Aeon." And that was the end of Bleach this week. I thought it was a cool twist because I completely forgot about Aeon, and I did not expect to see him here. However, he's just going to die. This captain guy has been built up to be really strong, one of the strongest generals in the Vandenreich army, and I just don't think Aeon's going to do crap to this guy. So he's probably just going to kill him, attack the three girls again, and then go right back to fighting Ichigo. Or he'll get called away or something. I'm not sure, but I don't think Aeon's going to do anything. So he'll probably kill him off next chapter fairly quickly. Then we have One Piece chapter 666, the Yeti Cool Brothers. This was my favorite chapter of the week. I thought it was really awesome. Cover page, we see that Bon Clay is the new queen in Impel Down's Kama Land. Then we get to the chapter and we see the the Yeti Cool Brothers call in and report three corpses. Zoro, Nami's body but Sanji inside, and Brook. Then we see Law, Caesar Clown, and Monet talking. And Caesar says he doesn't really trust Law, but he's willing. Law says he's willing to kill anyone Caesar wants. All he wants is to be able to walk around the laboratories freely and study things there. That's all he wants. He's doing all this stuff for Caesar Clown just so he can walk around the lab freely and be left alone. Law says that he won't tell anyone about Caesar's toys here, including Joker. Now, apparently, when Caesar was going to kill the Straw Hats, he called this guy Joker to ask for permission. So I don't know who Joker is, but he's got to be incredibly powerful. So I look forward to seeing that and how they're dropping hints about this guy and how strong he is. So, yeah, there's something about this place. Like, I'm not sure what exactly is going on here. It's still a big mystery, but Law, for some reason, wants to walk around this laboratory. So I'm not really sure where they're going with this, but I find it weird because Law has always been seen as a good guy, yet he's willing to kill anyone just to explore Punk Hazard. So the Yeti Cool brothers attack the lab that has Nami in Frankie's body and Sanji, or Chopper in Sanji's body. And they break in. Brownbeard thinks that they're there to save him. But they say that he's actually on their list too, and they shoot him. There was a lot of comedy here in this chapter, but this part they tried to make kind of sad, with Brownbeard always having faith in his master, Caesar Clown. And then the Yeti brothers play a message for him where Caesar says, yeah, go ahead and kill him. I always thought he was annoying. Does this mean that Brownbeard is really dead, even though he was shot with a gigantic rifle? It's One Piece. He could still be alive. For a very, very, very long time, no one ever died in One Piece that was a main character. Maybe a few soldiers and pirates that had no names, that were just running in like a big army group formation, died, but other than that, people only died in flashbacks. So I'm not really sure if people are going to start dying now in One Piece after the entire war situation, but yeah, I would not be surprised if he lived somehow and maybe joins up with the crew for a little bit. But they shoot him. They mention they can't shoot too much because they don't want to collapse the building and kill the kids. So for some reason, Caesar Clown really wants these kids back. Then Luffy, Frankie, and Chopper's body, Robin and Usopp, turn back after hearing the explosion, and Luffy goes to attack these guys. The Yeti Cool brothers fire some shots at him, and after the smoke clears, Luffy's still coming. He's getting ready to attack, and then they're gone. They just vanished. Brownbeard actually said no one knows what they look like. No one's actually seen them or knows much about them. But then he does kind of know a lot about them. He says they're 25, their name's Rocks and Scotch, and they're just really big and powerful. And they're willing to kill anyone for some type of reward. So we see that they've disappeared, and then we see the Yeti Cool brothers with Frankie, which is actually Nami trapped inside Frankie's body. And they said that this is the only one we were told to take alive. Something about Dr. Vegapunk's laser, they say. So Caesar wanted Frankie captured because he has Vegapunk's laser, apparently. So they're taking Frankie, which is really Nami, back to the base, I guess. And then they mention that they plan to just kill the others. Then we see the last panel, the last page. Law is walking around the laboratory. Some of the soldiers or guards say, Law, what are you doing? The Marines are still walking around out there. And then he separates them with his Devil Fruit ability and says, I'm free to go wherever I please. And that was it. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens with this. I honestly have no idea. That's one of the things I really love the most about One Piece, is Oda is incredibly hard to predict. It's always some really cool surprises, and I'm not even going to try to predict this. I'm just going to enjoy the ride of this mystery, why Law cares so much about Punk Hazard. I'm really interested in this story because, like I said, Law has always been portrayed as a good guy, one of the good guys. And for him to be willing to kill anyone over this place has to be something huge. So it's going to be awesome. And that's my review of this week's chapters, guys. So I hope you liked the review. Leave your thoughts on this week's chapters in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. And that's it, guys. So thanks for watching. Bye.